a local investigation in most of the cases. So we opened about 600 cases every year. Most of them are about child pornography and child abuse issues, which is a big problem in countries such as France. And more and more of our cases are related to fraud, online fraud, and hacking cases. Because we're at the national level, we try to do some criminal intelligence, that's analyzing the cases that are managed at a local level, and try to find commonalities between different cases to help local investigators come together on a case that looks to be bigger when you look at it at a national level, or try to help them in contact with international law enforcement or justice. An important part of our work is to facilitate relationship with telephone companies and internet companies. So every day we receive dozens of calls of investigators from simple questions such as who do I contact to get that data, how do I fill in my form to get access to that data, what am I authorized to ask, and so on, to difficult situations where, for instance, in urgent cases, we need to locate a person that is calling for help, and we can't find the location, and try to get an urgent response from the mobile phone company to locate the person. We're organized then into two departments. One is internet investigations, which covers all sorts of crimes, and online child protection unit, which does child pornography and child predators with a new tool that is covert investigations. So we go online, pretending to be a child and waiting for people to contact us. And believe it or not, there's a lot of adults contacting children on children forums to get in contact with them and meet with them and talk about sex and promise them sex and so on. So it's an important mission, at least for us. And then within that department, we have the National Illegal Image Analysis Center, which is managing a database of over 1 million child pornography images, and working with other countries in identifying the people who are on the pictures, so the victims and the suspects. And it's a difficult work. Most of the pictures we encounter in France and most of the videos are coming from abroad and not from France. So it's difficult to do those investigations. That's it. That's the description of our work in a few words. And I'm going to go into more detail about specific cases. So do you have any questions about how we work or my unit? Or
do you share the images with other police and law enforcement of other countries?
Yeah, there's an international database at Interpol, which is in existence since 2005, 2006, and which works on the images from the different countries, and also organizes trainings and meetings of law enforcement from all over the world to work on specific cases. And so they meet, look at a specific series of images, and say, okay, this seems to be coming from a Latin country, and they turn to the Latin guy. Do you have any ideas about this specific item, etc.? And they try to work together on identifying the images. The first step is to also look at the origin of the images from the investigations. So it's a hard work, but it's making progress.
And is there also a sort of database of websites, forums, etc.?
Yeah. Interpol manages a database of websites, of illegal websites who are distributing child pornography material. And in terms of forums where there is just discussions among pedophiles, there's just exchange of information between law enforcement. There's no database. Any other questions in general? Okay, so now I'm going to cover a number of situations that we have to deal with and is try to describe what are the issues and what we understand from those situations. So first, the script kiddies. Everybody understands what that means. It's people using tools they found on the internet and trying to hack into websites mainly and modify the pages. And they think they're the best because they've done that, and they put their banner or message, etc. So most of them are doing defacements. I don't think that's very useful to anybody. It's quite easy to do it. The main problem for them is that it's illegal. So it could send them to jail or put their parents in problem, etc. Most of them are not learning a lot from doing that. That is a recent case, which is sort of emblematic. So it's a pair of guys from France and Belgium who have been hacking into a number of websites using scripts. And in one of the instances, they hacked into the website of the government of Wallonia, which is one of the regions in Belgium, and defaced the website. And one of the commonalities among those people is that they're very proud about what they're doing, and those guys are documenting all of their defacements on a local wiki that was public at the time of the investigation. So we had a track of all the cases where they claimed they had defaced, and they left traces everywhere, of course. So it was quite easy to identify and arrest them. So I don't know what's your feeling about those cases, but for us it's a little interesting because you understand that you have some young people. In this case, the Belgian guy is 15 and the French guy is 22. I don't think they knew a lot about each of them, and I guess they were bored at home or something like that, and having fun, but I don't think they learned a lot, and above all, they didn't learn how to hide their traces. So that's the kind of cases we sometimes have to deal with. It's simply not acceptable for us to have people doing that in France. It doesn't mean they have to go to jail. This guy, the 22-year-old guy, is not going to go to jail, but it's important that a judge explains him that it's bad that he does that. Okay, now in the escalation, Juarez boards. Who's never been on the Juarez board in the room? Sebastian, no. Okay. It's always been there on the internet. The idea of sharing music, video, and so on. Software in the beginning that's why it's called Juarez, I think. Software. The problem we've had with those boards, apart from the counterfeiting aspect, was that, especially on the one at the top, Utopie, is that they're organized first to copy illegally counterfeit videos, in this case, directly from the companies producing the videos, paying people to get those videos and so on. And it's a kind of mechanism that could be defined as organized crime and is not acceptable. And secondly, they are making money from it with banners, advertising, etc. And thirdly, in the case of Utopie, they were hacking into servers to organize FTP. How do they call them? Niches, or well, places to store the videos for free. Now they don't need to because Mega Upload offers it for free on the internet. So they don't need to do that anymore. But they were hacking into many places to store counterfeit products. It is very organized, and in that case there was a hierarchy and there was a lot of money circulating. So it was not possible that we kept it going on in France. We had another case in Corsica that had been running for a number of years. He was also making a lot of money from it. So he was making money using the productions of legitimate companies. So it's not a good way to have a business on the internet. That's the last case here is interesting because so it's Wawamania. So it's one of the boards that has been running since the middle of the years 2000. The press in general are very much interested about those kind of characters, and they seem to be defending a sort of hacking message, sharing, etc. But this guy is making a lot of money from the functioning of his website. He's hiding the money abroad, in the Bahamas and in other places. So it's completely, well, for us it's completely not acceptable. To the judge it's not acceptable, and to the companies he's counterfeited films from, it's not acceptable. And he's organizing that. So obviously we have to do those investigations. And in most of the cases it's young people, and I'll show you in the next case. The problem we have is that it's young people, very often manipulated by older people, that you find during the investigation. They are discussing with them on Messenger, for instance, and telling them to do things, but not showing up in front. So this guy had other guys behind him, etc. And it's very often the case. In this case, so it's purely hacker boards. So it's forums where people learn how to hack. Okay, it's very common. This board was organized in French language, organized by French people. There were about 200 participants. And how were they identified? They actually hacked into the website of an association of people who like to grow fish in tanks, aquariums, and those guys filed a complaint because their website had been not only modified but all their data erased. Everything on their server was destroyed, and so the investigation started. The forum was identified, and it was very organized. So you had beginners that entered into classes, and they were taught how to hack, how to use specific tools, and so on. And again, what we identified in this case is that not only is there people in the forums that are active, but there are people in contact with them. So I personally did the house search of a 14-year-old who was an important character in